Okay, it's Kathy. Kathy, you're on, dear. Dear one. All right. All right. There's your beautiful book. Yay. All right. Love it. Okay, thank you. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right, and I'll add myself.
Taking the phone out.
So I think I need to mute. If everybody could keep themselves muted, that would be amazing, but I am going to go in here and see who to mute. Okay, great. Thank you for muting. Okay, taking a breath with you, Kathy.
Thank you.
So Kathy's chapter is,
So
say that again.
that was very deep, Michelle. We need a breath after that one.
Totally, totally. Okay. So Kathy's chapter is titled From Tears to Treasure. And it really is about moving from sorrow into abundance. Let me read Kathy's bio. Catherine Bass, enrolled agent, is not just your average tax expert. She is a powerhouse in the world of tax relief and financial empowerment. As the founder of Bass Tax Relief in Arlington, Texas, Kathy has solidified her reputation as a leading authority on resolving individual and small business tax dilemmas with the IRS. With over 25 years of hands-on experience, she's represented thousands of taxpayers. That's a lot. Beyond her professional credentials, she is a resilient widow, juggling life with 2 young adult children and 2 loving dogs. In her downtime, she immerses herself in the joys of reading, hiking, and rocking out at concerts with her daughter. Now, as she embraces the wisdom of middle age, Kathy has set her sights on helping other women who have faced loss find their way to abundance. Drawing from her own journey through grief, she is passionate about sharing the healing skills she has cultivated with Catherine. It's not just about taxes, it's about transforming lives. Yeah, what a powerful story. What a powerful story. So, it seems like as I was reading your chapter, Kathy, your real awakening began with the death of your husband. If I'm reading that correctly. Do you want to tell us what happened and how the journey that set you on?
Okay, yes. Well, first I
You're
want
a
to
little
start.
quiet if you want to lean forward towards your.
Yes, let me get a little closer to the camera here. Yes, is that better?
I hope so. If
Okay,
it's
so
not,
yeah,
let me know in the chat, everybody.
because I should be loud. Let me turn my stuff up. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. First I want to thank you, Laura, because my healing journey began with writing, and writing this chapter. But it really wasn't, it started with the death of my husband, but when the transformation occurred was when I met you. So I just want to thank you for giving me the words. Sorry, I'm emotional, but I'm gonna let it go because I gotta say it. But you giving me a voice again that I lost a long time ago.
Mm,
Just thank you.
it's an honor.
And I went through a lot of stuff getting here, and you love me through it, and I thank you for that as well. Okay.
One of the things you write in your chapter is that when you wanted to write the chapter, you wanted to write about your financial journey. And as you were writing, you kept unearthing more and more traumas and you just were like, wow, I need to write about this trauma. Wow, I need to write about that trauma. Wow, I need to write about that trauma. I need to write about that trauma. And then it was so many traumas before you really got to the financial piece. That the writing was cleaning it out. And I think it's still happening, and it's going to happen as long as you're going to keep releasing it as long as it takes. It's fine.
And that's the beauty of grief, right? Like it never goes away. It's our love for those people that we lost.
Yeah.
And you don't want them to die. They're not dead. They're not dead. They're still here. And that's why, we can take comfort in that. And that's where I'm trying to meet other widows, kind of like me. I'm in a raw place right now. This is, like I said, this has been the transformation. And I am just feeling the love of the women, of the power of our group and our authors and just everything. So, but grief, I'm just tired of grief being a dirty word, and that, everybody just wants you to get over it and move on. It's okay. You're going to be okay, but you're in over here going, am I going to be okay? I don't know. But you just have to keep taking the steps. And so grief is such a profound process. Um, and I've just learned so much from it. And it's like I'm tired of putting the negative connotations with grief. It's like grief is love. We love these
Right.
people. That's a beautiful thing. That's not sad. That's love. um,
That's right. We're
and
still loving
anyway,
the people who are gone. Well, let's tell the story so that we bring our listeners in. Um, you were a mother with two teenagers
mhm.
when you received the news that your husband had drowned. Do you want to tell us about that day?
Yeah, so yeah, it was a normal day, normal things, kids doing their thing, I'm doing my thing, working and whatever. My brother-in-law calls. I see on the phone, that it's him. So I answered the phone and he couldn't speak because he couldn't say the words. And so we sat there in silence for about 5 minutes, probably before we even spoke to one another, and just cried. It's like I knew something was wrong. It didn't matter to me what it was. I just wanted to be there for my brother-in-law. Of course, he's told me that Jason's gone. That was all the words he could find the courage to say. Sorry. And I'm sorry, I'm not apologizing. um, but so we cried. We're in the moment. I understood what he meant. So he's like, I'm on my way. I know, you got to tell your kids. You can't do that alone. I'm going to be there for you. So he rushed over to be with me to tell my children,
Yeah. Thank you for telling us. Yeah.
which was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my entire life. I've been through some stuff. So I thought, I got it. In the moment, I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to follow my heart and just do the best I can with what I've been given. And wrap my arms around my children and let them know they're loved and that he loved them.
Right. And you write that you also had gotten some really strong messages about grief from your mom when you were 13, when your cousins died or your nephews died. Three nephews in a house fire. Do you want to tell us what happened and what the message you got from your mom was about grief?
Yes, so that that led me on this journey that took me so long to get to, but that's okay, all in due time. But yeah, so she lost my nephews in a fire. It was a horrible accident. They actually started the fire playing with lighters. Um, there's a long history to that. I won't get into all that, but anyways, they started the fire that caused their demise. Everyone in the neighborhood, it was a trailer park. Everyone was trying to come in to save them. Um, my brother and sister-in-law, trailers are kind of set up where you're on opposite sides of the trailer.
Mm,
So they were on this side with the baby, but in a panic to try to save their other children, they forgot the baby
mm.
was right there with them. Sorry. And went to try to save the boys. And yeah, the whole community tried to save them. But it wasn't meant
And
to.
all three children died.
All three children
A
passed.
6-month-old, a 6-year-old, and a 5-year-old. Is that right?
Yes.
And these were your beloved nephews who didn't live that far from you, and they're gone, and you were grieving.
Yeah.
And your mom said to you,
Get over it. Life goes on. Don't stop. You can't. I just want to crawl into a corner and forget life. And how can, the world take three beautiful children? Just couldn't wrap my mind around it. But anyway, so she gives me the advice to just continue going. That doesn't matter. Life doesn't matter. I mean, life matters, but that you just got to keep going and just keep taking the steps and you'll come out okay on the other end. And so I just trusted her words and that's what I did. And
and
I
you
did
were
come out
13
okay.
and you did what your mom said.
I did.
But then later, when your husband drowned, their death came back up. And you're like, I don't want to follow that advice anymore. I'm not going to just pretend it didn't happen. I'm
Yeah.
going to let myself feel this time.
Yeah, I realized I'd shoved all those feelings away as a child, and I was a child, of course. So we're struggling with so much at those ages as it is. But yes, I realized that I had not grieved for my nephews. I pretty much just put a plug in it and said, let's just keep on rowing and get through life. And then all of a sudden, that plug got pulled out, and here I am, and I'm drowning because I lost my husband.
Right. Right. Well, I just want to honor your courage in saying, I'm going to find a different way to be with grief than my mother's advice. I don't have to follow that. I can choose my own path. So, talk to us about finances. I know you are an enrolled agent, you help people with their taxes, but also you have your own story where when you were in your marriage, as much as you loved your husband, there were some dysfunctional pieces around money that you chose to change after he died. Do you want to tell us about that?
Yes, definitely. We were caught in the cycle of life where we kind of just go in circles. And I kind of found my way to break free from the circle with our finances. Like in my chapter, I talk about narcissism and different things with my husband. And I'm just as broke as he was, is what I realized as well. So I wasn't trying to put a negative light on him, but it helped me to see that.
Wait a minute, I'm going to stop you there because I read this. I've looked at this again this morning. That is not, I'm going to read you something from your own chapter.
Okay.
During my grief and confusion, part of me thought, am I as broken as my husband was? The more I thought about it, the answer was, no, I'm not.
See how quickly we forget.
Well, I hear your generosity and kindness to not want to speak badly of the deceased,
Hmm.
which is really hard to do, to speak badly of the deceased. But your story, you also make clear that you realize you didn't have to keep living the way he was living financially. You could set yourself free.
Yes. No, exactly. And that's what I did. So, and I share that in the story as well. Um, on just how I went through healing. Like I said, Laura helped me through healing. I realized that my voice that I've been hiding my entire life has needs to be heard. I have power in helping other women and other widows. Like widows flock to me when I tell them my story because it's like we have this camaraderie of I know what you're going through, and I kind of diverted off the story of finances, and I'm sorry, but but
Okay.
I'm feeling my passion with the women and just and of the how we can help each other through this grief. And as I'm sitting here watching myself and listening to myself, I'm still grieving, obviously, because I'm sitting here crying, right? And I'm still processing. So like my grief for my husband, I didn't start dealing with until almost 5 years later because I was terrified that it would take me down a path of addiction, suicide, all of the above. That all these women are reminding me of stories and of all the struggles we all go through and how many we have and how many, we've made it through. And, God willing, we're still here and so, let's help as many people as we can. Um, anyways, and what was your question about the finance? I'm sorry. Now I went off on that.
You're doing great. You're doing great. Take a breath. Take a breath. It's
Thank
fine.
you. Yes. Okay.
We'll pause for a minute and just take in everything. Yeah, you wrote, I realized it was his destiny to die young, not mine, and I had been carrying his burdens.
100%.
I had to look in the mirror and figure out why I was carrying his burdens. Once I started asking the questions, I started getting the answers. I now know that I am worthy of self love and I deserve to live in abundance. So tell us something you did differently financially once you decided that you wanted to live in abundance that led to you being more abundant.
Well, the number one thing is I quit stressing about it. I just trusted that it was going to come. You know, you get real raw in your grief, and so I just realized that money is a tool to our happiness, but it's not our happiness. And that was the key that I think I realized, that I can do a lot of things with money. Money can be great, but it's also not the end all be all of everything.
Right.
Just having gratitude for everything. I hate that I got to pay bills and have this and that to pay, and it's hard sometimes to put groceries on the table, but you just, it works. You let the flow, just like we're flowing. We let the flow of our money just flow, and it comes and goes. And we can be in abundant, or we can give it all away because we want to help people. And that's kind of how I feel about it. And so I was scared to come into abundance because I didn't want to become evil. I didn't want to become these people that become rich and, you know, do bad things and have bad souls and all these fun things that I don't want to bring up. But I had those fears that I'm going to turn into that person if I become rich. And realizing that, same thing with my husband. It was the same thing. It's like, you weren't deserving of the money. Am I worth the money? No. But yes, I am, but just like everything in life, we're worth it. We're Anyway, so you can just tie it all back into life and money and just everything. It's just another tool of life. And then once you kind of see that, it just shows up. And
Beautiful.
that's all I
Beautiful.
have to say about that.
Beautiful. And you were able to save for the first time, buy your first house. Those are really, really incredible things. Well, I would love for all of you to put some love for Kathy into the chat. We do have some people who've already said hello. We have Frank says hello, Kat. Hyla says, so much love, Kathy. That's the power of story medicine. Shantae, grief is not a dirty word. It is a profound process. Honor it. We can love each other through the grief. Our loved ones are always in our hearts. Thank you for sharing your story, your tears, and your love. Beautiful. Kathy, do you have any final words you want to share?
um, just thank you, and thank you for supporting me and supporting our ladies. We're all I just feel so supported and loved, and I just want the whole world to feel that too. So let's
All right.
go.
Okay. All right. Debbie says, thank you, Kathy. Thank you for sharing your process with us. We are with you. Lisa, beautiful story about personal transformation. Amy, I so appreciate your vulnerability and sharing of your grief process. You have an open, caring heart. And I'm so glad you're sharing your story. And I'm sure it's your open, caring heart that's attracting other widows to you, right? For support. You said you have met a lot of widows who come to you for support. Michelle, wow, in awe of you. Thank you. Okay.
Well, death and taxes, you know what happens. So.
Death and taxes. Wait, what is the quote about death and taxes? What's the quote?
I don't even know. I just know it sucks.
There's a quote about that.
It sucks.
All right. If anyone remembers that, feel free to put it in the chat. Thank you, Kathy.
You.